or something?
I'm terrible. The second was the scales.
You see, if I would say there's the common denominator to what people come with. When I say what's the most difficult thing, they would say chords don't feel bad, or not so bad, scales. So what does it tell us? It's not the scales, it's hard to move from finger to finger. What's involved? That's the thing, those are the basic skills. So when string players, let's say come, I'm not a string player, but I know enough to help in the in what happens because a lot of it is similar, and there's some dissimilar things. There are other issues, but the hand that uses the fingers is the most complex one. So when they come, very often they come with the bow problems, and I say, oh good, because the bow problem is easy for me to fix because usually the thumb is over here, the upper arm is initiating and everything, so that usually goes quite quickly. But then when that is done, usually the person says, can I ask a few questions? They realize that there's a comfort level that even the left hand doesn't. And that's where it gets more complicated. Anytime you use your fingers, this is why the piano is so complex. You're talking about a whole other organization. Yeah. Okay. So... still manage one thing about the tree.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's not so much that it's terrible, but your fourth and fifth fingers are curled under. Yeah, like that.
I use this I have really weird ways of compensating, and I've been doing it for years. For example, sometimes I'm here for trills.
Okay, let me show you. So, you're down here. Let's see. First of all, make sure that you're in the right place. That the body and the forearm. It's a single rotation. And again, all the fingers, this is another rule that we have, all the fingers that remain in the direction that you're going should move together, are moving together. So you're going to the three, but if two fingers are hiding or staying on the keys, you're isolating. And this creates tension. So see if you can get yourself again, now that you have another insight into the thumb and going from the thumb, do the same thing. And then let's see what happens with the scale. One second, can you do this?
No.
One second. No, you sit here. Something, just play right. So, is your arm there? Let me just sit for another minute. Look where mine is. It's here. I think yours is a little bit more here. Am I right? Let's just check.
Yeah. The thumb feels better.
The thumb feels better, yeah. So it's a little bit in front of the body. Yeah. Right. I don't think that you have to be so inside. Any more comfortable or
not yet? Not yet. I'm holding.
You're holding
something
here.
Okay.
Let's do the knuckle higher right now. Try it here. Let's see what happens. But wait, your fingers are not with you. When you go from the thumb, you see they're staying over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go to the left, everybody goes to the left. You go to the right, everybody goes to the right. Right, keep going. Right, so when you go from 3 to 1, you have 1 and 2. They move together. You go to the right, and then you look here, and you make sure it's really free. It's really free. Without freedom, just saying the movement, and without freedom, that's what takes the longest, for me to work with, because there are always pockets of tension. And that's why I say look here. That seems to be sometimes the best way to stimulate it comes to feeling of emptying it out. Like this, it's like hollow.
Yeah. Is it all right to play that low trill with your left hand instead of your right hand?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not why even go down, but I want to make sure. I think that the problem goes even the absolutely. I do a lot of that when it goes to the extreme. I switch hands. But anyway, so that's something to consider. But first of all, just to get, I don't think the trill would probably be comfortable anywhere right now. Of this. That's what happens. It's kind of almost, I don't want to say abnormal, but we have to, the fingers are so active that talking about connection doesn't penetrate because it's, it's so stiff. That's why I go so much to here, and that's why people think that this technique is all arm. It's not. It's finding a way to connect so that whenever the fingers move, the form is with them. Because like I said, that's kind of the engine, the enabler. Yeah. So looking looks really, because it has to be not almost, but all the way. This is your fulcrum here for turning. Yeah. That feels better?
A lot better.
Yeah. A lot better. Do you want to do the scale also? Or okay. So you know already something about the crossing, right? I think you did it before. And then just remember the turning. Did you talk about with relaxation?
Free falling, yeah.
Free falling, okay. Whatever that means. It is like a free fall, but it has to be, it's not like free falling and you fall to the floor. It's free falling into a particular place, right? Into the key. And stopping it at the right time. Freedom and relaxation are very close, because when we are free in a correct way, it feels relaxed because it's the absence of tension. And where we have to go is the absence of tension, and that's it. When you relax everything. And where we have to move so quickly and create so many effects and everything, you can't move from total relaxation. Relaxation is when you lie in bed. Otherwise when you sit, you have to get up, it's all activities. This is a minute type of activity, but it's an activity. Yeah.
Well, to answer your question
yes.
in earnest, my first teacher was of this school.
Yeah, because that's and that's what also the reason I asked is because of all the relaxation on the other fingers.
Yeah.
I came from relaxation. I don't think I was, said relax. I don't remember it, but I remember my teacher talking about circles.
Yeah.
And the circles, it exists, but in a very different way. It's not from the wrist, it's not from the upper arm, and it's very measured. They're very definite looks, like when you rules. When you say, and where it works, what makes it right is where it feels right. It's not to satisfy a theory. It's not like to say you do it because of that. All of that is to make this comfortable. So if I talk and I say whatever it is, and the person is not comfortable, I've not succeeded. That's the way it is. You take the information and you see what needs to apply. So a lot of also the weakness and everything is everything is falling, everything is relaxing. Now to hold the fingers from holding, you don't have to hold them. It's the same way that this is relaxation. Now we move in one piece, right? So something is holding it, right? But do we feel anything? We don't feel anything. We just move like that. It doesn't take an effort to be one piece. Yeah, and that's what happens in natural technique. There's the intuition to do that. Okay, we have just a few minutes.
Okay.
You want to do the scale? Go ahead. All the fingers move together. Yeah, and look at the form. Yeah, so in the preparatory motion, that's what we call preparatory motion. So going back to throw something, That's only way not to stretch and prepare. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. How's that? Right. Wait, not connect. Right. How's that?
Oh, did I turn in the wrong direction?
No, I was looking here. Did you do it again? No, this was correct.
So.
No, but I want you to connect. You know, if you want to play quick scales and you disconnect, there's going to be a bump and it's not going to feel comfortable. Let me just show that's your problem. Okay. So let's see if I took any scale. Okay, we take this. So as we rotate, rotation doesn't work just by itself. Movements are interconnected. Rotation is turning right and left, but it's static. So when you rotate and you bend, the form is going with you. See, so the rotation and what I would call walking hand and arm, because it's literally like walking, you know, the form is adjusting and moving along. And when you have to cross, I can rotate to go, this is the correct rotation, but my arm is not in the right place to get to the thumb. The thumb is here. So as I do it, the rotation and the walking arm, working through the rotation is bringing the forearm with it. And if it doesn't, I show you to move it. So when you go into the 3, the forearm should already be here. Not here. If you did this, you don't have to move much. So the form gets accustomed to move with the fingers wherever they're going and not to pull against them and to give the power. Try it again. Okay. Go ahead. Keep going. There you go. How's that?
Yeah, I've seen you do this, but now I'm feeling.
Now I'm feeling it. Yeah, you was wondering, what is she doing dragging that? She's standing and she's going.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It makes sense. Good. Yeah, they move together. You know, the whole idea is to bring you to where you have to be with security and ease, and no symptom. Yeah, you want to do it once more? Accurate. It's too limp.
Okay.
So I'm not saying tense. Yeah. God forbid. Go again. Go to your head. Do you go? Are you limp when you go to your head?
No.
Do your glasses? Right? It's just free and active, right? Alert. It's a feeling of alertness. Right. Beautiful. Go ahead. Good. How's that?
Good.
It's good, huh? But the moment I say, you know, something, do some activity like that. I really started doing it a few years ago when I saw that just talking about people come so broken up, you know, and I thought, how do I get it? Can't even get to the piano. And these are performing artists. How do I get into the piano? I started saying, okay, how do you pick this up? No problem. How do you go to your glasses? No problem. Okay, that's how you go to the piano. You know, then the other things that are involved. Yeah.
I think I've been harmed by this relaxation.
A quick one?
A quick one. Let's see. Yeah, the left hand here. I always feel a little naked.
Let me try. You know, when you do the first chord, I mean, it's a very big chord. Are you okay with that? You're not stretched this one?
Yeah.
I would break it. I think I don't hear the E.
Oh.
Right? At the end. Okay, good. Okay, so what is sending me to the next? Why is the E so important? First of all, because the chord was written that way. But also, this last note is what sent you to here. It's what you were doing. You know, it's a center. It's the first note of a leap. Now, another thing that is very nice between here and here, if you think what's your closest note, is the 1 to the 5. It's the same E. It just makes us move a little bit less. Otherwise, you know, we're moving a lot. And of course, with the help of rotation, rotation minimizes the amount that we move. But anyway, and here you still have two notes in common, right? You have the B, so you can think either the 5 to the 5 or the 5 to the 2, the closest note. And then this has to send you back. And then, did you watch the whole thing on grouping? I don't know if you saw. If you saw the block, you didn't see the 10 DVDs, right? It wasn't the 10. It was what's on their website, right? The streaming.
No, I actually didn't go to the website. I went to YouTube. And that sort of gave me, yeah.
Okay, so it's not on it. Okay, so you have 3 chords going up, okay? And then it goes down and it goes up again, and it goes down and it goes up again. The brain gets a little bit confused when we have changing directions. So we organize it. This is one of the reasons for grouping. It's not the only one. So we organize it, the feeling after you move correctly, you move in the direction of 3 chords going up. And you get there and you start again. That's the new grouping. And this is the new grouping. So what the brain conceives is this. And that organizes, that makes it easier. It doesn't mean that you're not being sent back. But that's what we practice. We practice how to move from chord to chord. But once you have it, once you know that you're there, you do this. And of course, if you have to start, you'll be there, right? And you will be there, whatever the notes are. So you think it like that. So let's try it from the point of view of the closest note.
Too far, right?
Right, and also, and really play it. Sometimes we don't go down with the key, so there is really nothing much to send us. It's like a ball, it has to go down to spring again. Yes, good, good. And something, if you got a little bit more of a feeling.
I know an idea.
Yeah.
A reaction has a reaction, but I think my previous teacher, I couldn't go down at all. I didn't want to hear
Get you up.
Yeah.
Get you up, yeah. So I want you actually to feel that you're going down with the keys, and the going down with the form will send, the form gets sent. It's not just the fingers and the hand, but the whole form has to go to here. Who's going to get them there? Unless you're moving yourself, and that's trouble. It's slow and it's fatiguing. Yeah. So play, and not so short. It can be very right. Yeah, and again, down, and then there. Right, it doesn't have to be so short. Yeah. Short enough to send you. Good. How's that?
Yeah, I'm not hopping anymore.
You're not hopping anymore. Are you thinking the closest note? Is that one of the things that you're thinking? Or just you're going very directly?
Very directly. And the down and the rebound.
The down and the form. In other words, what are we rebounding? All of this. If it doesn't go down, something gets rebounded, but it's not what needs to be moving. You need the arm on the next chord. Wonderful. So staccato doesn't have to be, that's one of the things I always have to stress. To function, don't have to be as short as we think they have to be. Very often they're so short that it tenses the fingers going up, it stops the momentum of going down. So it has to be, if you go down, and it has to be enough, but it doesn't feel short when it's short enough. Okay, I think we're going to stop. Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.